Hello my dear student, welcome to Sammeda e-learning program. Subject Social Science Grade 8. Today I am going to discuss about History part Chapter 2. Geographical Feature and Prehistoric India. In this unit you learnt about the main topic of this chapter, the physical feature of India. And India is both a subcontinent and peninsula. Recognize the neighboring countries of India, and you also learnt about the living style of man in prehistoric period and what is the prehistoric period and the Stone Age, different type of the Stone Age you can learn about this chapter. Let us see the geographical feature of India. The geographical environment has influenced every country and people in the world. There is an intimate relationship between human life and environment. Hence, it is necessary to learn about geographical environment in order to know about human history. Student, where is India located? India is a subcontinent and peninsula. And where it is located? India is located in which place? Yes, your answer is correct, children. India is located in southern part of Asian continent. What is peninsula? As it is surrounded by water on three sides and land on one side, it is a peninsula. See this picture, children. This is peninsula. These are surrounding. The land is surrounding in three sides, only the water on three sides and land on one side, it is a peninsula. Which are the neighboring countries of India? Pakistan, Afghanistan, China, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Myanmar and Sri Lanka. These are the neighboring countries of India. Student, I will give you small activities for the neighboring countries of India. Yes, the neighboring countries of India, Pakistan, Nepal, China, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Sri Lanka and Afghanistan. These are the neighboring countries of India. Let us see the Union Territory of India. Which are the Union Territory of India? Including Delhi, 9 Union Territories of India. Dadra, Nagar Haveli, Chandigarh, Pondicherry, Daman and Diu, Lakshadweep, Andaman and Nicobar Island, Delhi and Ladakh. This is also a small activities for you children. Yes, these are the Union Territory of India. You just note it in your India map. Where is Union Territories? First one is Chandigarh, Diu and Daman, Pondicherry, Dadra and Nagar Haveli, Lakshadweep Island, Andaman Nicobar Islands, Delhi and Ladakh. These are the Union Territories of India. Let us see the geographical feature of India. India's geographical feature comprise the Himalaya mountain and Indo-Gangetic plains in northern part and Deccan plateaus and coastal region in the south. Children, note this one. The geographical feature of India in Himalaya mountain in north and Gangetic plains. It is also known as the heart of India and Deccan plateaus. It is a olden land masses of India and the coastal regions, eastern coastal and western coastal. These are the physical division of India. Let us see one by one the physiographical division of India. First one is Himalaya mountain. These snow-capped mountains in the north, including some of the tallest mountain peak in the world we can see in this Himalaya mountain. Children, you know about this. Which is the highest peak in the world? Yes, your answer is correct. Mount Everest. It is also located in the northern part of India and Nepal. Between this Mount Everest, it is located in the Nepal and India. Between the places, we can see this Mount Everest. And which is the highest mountain peak in India? That is Mount Godwin Austen. It is also known as the K2. Mount Godwin Austen, it is the highest peak of India. Mount Everest, it is the highest peak in the world. Himalaya range, it helps to preserve the safety of India. It is also known as the natural wall of India. Himalaya mountain, it is a natural wall of India. It protects our country. And mountain passes. The two important mountain passes we can see in the Himalaya region. That is the Bolan and Khyber. Bolan and Khyber passes in the Himalaya or the valleys through the attacks on India have taken place. Many enemies are attacked the India through this mountain passes. And second physiographical division of India, that is Indo-Gangetic Plains. It is a flat land, it is plains. The flat Indo-Gangetic Plains are extremely fertile area. It is also known as the heart of India. Many civilizations started in this land. The ancient Indus Valley civilization and Vedic civilization, it is flourished in this Indo-Gangetic Plains. And third important geographical feature of India, that is Deccan Plateaus. The Deccan Plateaus in the south, it is the most important physiographical division of India. And river Narmada, it is separated into two important plateaus, that is Malwa and Deccan Plateaus. The Malwa Plateaus are Central Highland. The Malwa Plateau is also known as Central Highland, and another one plateaus, that is Deccan Plateaus. It is located in the southern part of India. And in this Deccan Plateaus, many kingdom was flourished, especially for the first Indian kingdom, that is Mauryan Empire, and the Guptas. They ruled in this plains, especially for the Deccan Plateaus. It is very famous for the important kingdom, that is Mauryas and Guptas. Coastal region. The Indian coastal line is vast and stretches over 6,100 kilometers. The Indian coastal line, it is 6,100 kilometer, and it is east and western part. The eastern coastal line is called Coromandel coast. Children, observe this map. The Coromandel coast, it is located in the eastern part of India. And which is the coastal line in western part? Yes, Coromandel coast, it is in eastern side, and Konkana and Malabar coast in western side. The western coastal line is referred as Konkana and Malabar coast. Let us see about what is the prehistoric period. The prehistoric period, before the discovery of the art of writing, is called prehistoric age. What is prehistoric age, children? Yes, prehistoric age, before the discovery, the period before the discovery of the art of writing is called the prehistoric age. This is so because we do not find evidence of the linguistic development or the use of script. They are not using a particular language and they are not using a particular script or writing word. So, we cannot find any evidence of the written evidence in the period of the prehistoric period. What is the lifestyle of the prehistoric period? We do not get any written records or the study of history of this period. The scholars who study in this period, and they are called the archaeologists, they give the many more evidence and they are given some importance proof to the prehistorical period. And in this age, man has nomadic It means they are wandering from one place to another place. They are not set at any particular place. And indulgent in hunting and food gathering. They are moving one place to another place, and the main occupation of that period, that is hunting and food gathering. And archaeologists have discovered a few tools created and used by these people. Which are the tools they are using during that period? We can get some information about the lifestyle of the prehistorical peoples. They use tools made up of stone, wood and bones. They are using a natural thing, especially they are using a different variety of the tools that is made up of wood and stone and the animal's bones. Among these, only the tool made up of stones have survived today, providing us sources for studies. That tools which are used by the prehistoric period, that is only the proof, the evidence of the prehistorical period peoples are living and what is the lifestyle of the prehistorical peoples. Dear student, see this picture. The variety of the weapons is there. These all the weapons are made up of a different type of the stones, bones and some other materials, especially for the almost all these weapons are made up of natural things. Which are the site is available to give the proof of the prehistorical peoples? What is the main occupations of that period? The hunting and food gathering. Before I explain, the hunting and food gathering is the main occupations of the peoples. We can get some information of particular place or site of the prehistoric period in India, that is Bhimbetka, Nasgi and Kurnool. These are some important sites give the information about the prehistoric period. The Kurnool, it is in Andhra Pradesh. It gives the more information about the prehistoric people. There are many other sites give the information about the prehistoric peoples, especially it is the bank of rivers and lakes. In these regions give the some information about the prehistorical peoples. Stone Age or Stone Age period. Since the Stone Age were main survival of that age, they made tools and caves using that period. They also know about the knowledge about the fire. You know children, Stone Age peoples, they are using the fire in different purpose. The sign of the ashes have been obtained in the caves of the Kurnool and reveal the knowledge and use of the fire by the people of the Stone Age. The old Stone Age peoples, they are using the fire. It is also getting some information through that. Are using some materials and ashes. We can find it give the information about the old Stone Age peoples are used. They know about, they have the knowledge about the use of the fire. Probably fire was used for the various purpose to cook food, for light and frighten animals. That is the main reason they are using the fire during the period of the Stone Age. What is the entertainment of the prehistorical peoples? We get to see some drawing in many caves in which peoples lived in the Stone Age. Such cave drawing can be seen in our country, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh and Karnataka. We can see some drawing. Where it is found, it is in cave. In the region cave, we can see some drawing. It is drawn by the prehistorical peoples. There are a beautiful drawing of wild animals and huntings of the animals. This is the main topic of that drawing. Let us see the changing environment. It is believed that 12,000 years ago, a major changes took place in the Earth's environment. The Earth temperature began to gradually increase. This led to the development of grassland in many places. Birds and animals began to multiply in unprecedented. It means many birds and animals numbers should be increased during this period. Animals like deer, elks, goats, sheep and other prospered in this grassland. Many animals are number of the animals will be increased during this period when the changing of the environment in the earth. Humans who had been hunting animals began to observe their nature. food habits and the way these animals multiplied. Over a period of time, they captured some of these animals and brought them up. Like this animal husbandry will be started. The people's getting some knowledge about how to usage of that animals, and they started for the animal husbandry during this period. They also started for the fishing and agriculture activities during this period. When the environment changes, the human life also changed. They started for the usage of the animals, and they also started for the usage of the environment. They started for animal husbandry, fishing, and they also started the first steps to agriculture also. Which are the types of the prehistoric age? Let us see about the prehistoric age. Which are the types? The age that prevailed 2 million years ago is a old stone age, and it is called a old stone age, and it stretches over a period of 12,000 years. Old Stone Age period also is 3 important stages. First one is Old Stone Age, second one is Middle Stone Age, and third one is New Stone Age. And Old Stone Age also it is a 3 important types or stages is there. The first one is Early Stone Age, and second one is Middle Stone Age, and third one is Late Old Stone Age. These are the stages of the prehistoric age, especially that is a stone age. First of all, we can discuss about the 3 types of the old stone age. The long duration has been classified into 3 stages of the prehistoric stone age. The first one is the early stone age, second one is the middle stone age, and third one is late old stone age. Which period is known as the Middle Age, children? The period from 12,000 years to around 10,000 years is called the Middle Stone Age. What is Delicate Stone Age period? The tools of this period are generally small or very small, and hence they are called the Delicate Stone Age. Very small. Children, you just observe these pictures. They are using a very small and delicate weapons that all are made up of different variety of the stones. This type of the very small and delicate stone they are using just like a weapons. That period is known as the Delicate Stone Age. I hope you understood what is the meaning of Delicate Stone Age. The tools of this period are generally very small and the different variety of the stones. They used to fix the stones tools with handles made up of wood and bones. Most of the weapons are used by the wood and different type of the bones. In Delicate Stone Age period, the prehistoric peoples are made up of that weapons. Only most of the weapons they are using only made up of wood and bones. New Stone Age period. The New Stone Age began after 10 years. The stone tools of this period are different from those of the earlier period. These tools were bright and had sharp edge. Compared to Old Stone Age and Middle Stone Age, a New Stone Age period, they using the variety of the weapons, especially stone weapons. It should be a different from to other weapons. So, compared to Old and Middle Stone Age, the New Stone Age weapons are very sharp edge. The very sharp edge and very bright stone they are using to made up of the different variety of the stones. This New Stone Age, it will be begins in 10,000 years ago. People of this period, they are using the different variety of the stones from grinding. The grinding stones also using in the New Stone Age period. Why they are using this type of the grinding stones? They are grinding the leaves and herbs and grains and cereals. They are variety of the different type of the stones they are using. Children, observe these pictures. They very beautiful stones they are using in the New Stone Age period. So, the compared to Old Stone Age and Middle Stone Age, the New Stone Age is little bit different. in the New Stone Age period, the lifestyle will be developed during the period of the New Stone Age compared to Old and Middle. The lifestyle should be a change. They are started to use of the some pots and pans of this period, and also they are using the cloths, and they are also decorating the variety of the pots and other walls. They started for the decorating of their houses, and they want to stop the nomadical life during the period of the New Stone Age. It means compared to Old Stone Age, during the New Stone Age period, the people's lives should be changed. And they started for the weaving of the cloths. Pots were used for the storing grains, and they are also used for the cooking rice during the New Stone Age period. And peoples also, in the period of the New Stone Age, the people of this age had learned to weave the cloths. The different variety of the cloths they were started to weaving in the New Stone Age period. Dear student, I hope you all are understood this chapter. This is the period of the recall. Once again, I want to recapitulation for this chapter. Geographically, India is a subcontinent and peninsula. The signs of ashes have been found in caves of Kurnool. The implement of the Middle Stone Age are called Delicate Stone Age. River Narmada separated India into two, Malwa Plateaus and Deccan Plateaus in the south. About 12,000 years ago, a major change took place in the Earth's environment. Children, now I want to ask some question, that is a MCQ question. I hope you all are able to answer this question. The first question, India is a subcontinent, occupy a huge area in the southern part of dash continent. Dear student, I given 4 options for you. You select any one answer. First options, America. Second, Asian. Third one is Africa. And fourth one is Antarctica. Yes, children, your answer is correct. B, Asian. India is a subcontinent occupying a huge area in the southern part of Asian continent. Second question, the river which separates India into a two plateaus. A options Godavari, B options Kaveri, C options Krishna river, and D options Narmada. Which is the correct answer, children? Yes, your answer is correct. The river Narmada which separated India into two plateaus. Third one, a major changes took place in the world's environment dash years ago. A options 12,000 years, B options 14,000 years, C options 8,000 years, and D option 10,000 years. Which is the correct answer, children? Yes, your answer is correct. A major change took place in the world's environment 12,000 years ago. Next question. India's coastal line length is dash. A options 15,100 km, B options 8,716 km, C options 6,100 km, and D options 7,416 km. Yes, your answer is correct, children. C options, India's coastal line length is 6,100 kilometers. Fifth and last question, the eastern coastal line is called the dash coast. A options Coromandel coast, B options Malabar coast, C options west coast, and D options east coast. Correct answer A options Coromandala. The eastern coastal line is called the Coromandala coast. I will ask some recapitulation questions. I hope you all are able to answer this question. The first question, what is meant by prehistoric age? The period before the discovery of the art of writing is called prehistoric age. We do not find evidence to the linguistic development or use of script of this age. Second question, describe the geographical features of India briefly. First one is Himalaya range, second one is the flat Indo-Gangetic plains, and third one is Deccan plateaus in the south, that is Malwa and Deccan plateaus, and fourth one is the coastal region. Next question, name the neighboring countries of India. Dear student, I hope you all are know about this question answer. Correct answer, Pakistan, Afghanistan, China, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh and Myanmar are the neighboring countries of India. Fourth question, what is the importance of coastal line? Yes, your answer is correct. The numerous ports of this coastal line had attracted the Romans from this time. It is very immemorial, and foreign trade was carried on those days only through the sea roads. These are the importance of coastal line. Yes, children, now it is the time of home assignment. Please note these two questions and write the answer and show it in your teachers. First question, what is the importance of the Himalayas in the Indian history? Once again I will repeat, what is the importance of the Himalayas in Indian history? Second home assignment question, how did animal husbandry and dairying start?